Yeah, I got wicked touches. So you're playing City Folks, Marvest. What is it called? Marvest?
Marvest. Yeah.
Marvest Fest or no, just Marvest?
I think it's just Marvest.
Marvest.
Musical Harvest.
Musical Harvest. Marvest. Musical Harvest. Hello everybody, welcome to Alive and Swell, episode 2. We have Gavin Dyke from Black Dogs. So Gavin, nice to have you here. Thanks for dropping by the studio. I'm excited to hear some of your tunes. What's happening with you? How's life going?
Well, life is going well. I moved to the country. I'm not exactly living off the land, but a little closer to it.
Nice.
So I feel like that's good for the soul, good for the songwriting.
Totally.
So one day I'll be out there permanently and I'll never come back to the city.
Kind of a dream come true.
Yeah, except to play shows, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of shows, Gavin's got some shows coming up, and we'll get to that in a second. But before we do, would you like to play a song?
Absolutely.
All right, so this is Black Dogs, Gavin Dyke in studio, Swell Studios. Check it out.
I wish you'd come here more often, for to hear you on the phone, to see you in pictures only makes me feel alone. One day when I quit all this guitar playing and we quit our belly aching, we'll know it's time, that it's safe to say that we're done and not just for today. The country is quiet, the city is lonely. That's the difference between you and me, the one and only. Called us fence sitters, and yeah, to be quite sure, we never knew what to make of their rules and impending heartbreak. And now your body turns and twists and your body burns and blisters of you. I know these things, for I see them in sanguine dreams. It's a fool who thinks he can get back to from where he came, and perfection is an inherently unhuman game. But man, I swear there was this one time we had 'em all lined up like pins, and there ain't much I'd stop short of to try and get back there again. The country is quiet, the city is lonely. That's the difference between you and me, the one and only.
So, if you didn't know, City Folk Ottawa has a thing called Marvest, which is a musical harvest of tons of diverse Ottawa talent. And Gavin gets to be a part of that this year, 2015, in September, next Saturday actually, the 19th. And tell us about that. How do you feel? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really nice of them to ask. So Marvest is part of the folk festival where they're featuring local bands that are going to play free shows at various places around town. I think mostly in the Glebe and Lansdowne area.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a couple sets on the 19th. One is shortly after 1 p.m. I'll be playing at David's Tea. And shortly following that, I'll be playing over at Whole Foods somewhere. I've never been in Whole Foods yet, so it's going to be a real eye-opener for me. I hear it's great.
You can get some Whole Foods and then catch a great set. Okay, let's talk about your music for a bit. So it's mostly acoustic, which I love. I started on acoustic myself, and I love all the old folky, finger-picking, classic, Canadiana, Americana, folky, traditional stuff, and I really got that vibe from listening to you play. Any tidbits that you could talk about, or like who you listen to or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you said you started on acoustic because so did I. So do most people, I think. You build your chops up, and then you go and experiment with electric guitar. You play in some punk bands, some rock bands. Maybe you dabble in metal if you're good enough.
Yeah.
And I came back to acoustic. I mean, I still play both, but I really love picking up the acoustic guitar. And I think that's kind of reflective of growing up on the type of music that I play, because I listened to a lot of early folk artists, sort of Greenwich Village area or era, and Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, stuff like that, some Canadian folk artists. And while I did explore beyond that to open my tastes, that's kind of what I keep coming back to, and I think that shows through a lot of the music.
Yeah, it's really kind of simple, but also you have nice harmonies sometimes, and it's the type of music you could listen to on a Saturday like today that's raining, and go through all his albums, which you should check out at Bandcamp, and also in a couple stores locally in Ottawa. We'll put a lot of links in the description below. But you want to lead us into another song?
Absolutely.
What song would that be?
The next song I'm going to play is called Good News from the Frontier.
All right. Gavin Dyke, Black Dogs, check it out.
Every other weekend when the local dive gets filled with people filling up on the government bill, the air is filled with voices set to drown each other out. Doesn't mean there are real words coming out of those mouths, 'cause a word Routine is the death of any man who's worth his wage. And this job has got the better of me. I've exhausted all the options I could try to exercise. And these men pray to things that they don't believe. But every other Friday we're the richest man in the world. And every other Thursday we got nothing to unfurl. So I may not be the smartest or the richest man that's been all, but I can hear the voice as it comes crawling above the din. You won't find me warm in any bar stools tonight, if you know what I mean, and I think that you do. It's just getting too late in the week. E.E. Cummings wrote something like, the godless and the damned are dull and doomed. Well, fear not, for we have gods and they go boom.
Folk songs traditionally have a lot of wordplay and really nice allegories and similes and facsimiles and all kinds of stuff. What would be one of your favorites that you've written?
That I've written?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Can you think of one specifically? Is it a new one or an old one or?
Yeah, actually, I like the chorus of the song I'm gonna play next. It alludes to a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh,
When
okay.
two of the inmates in the mental institution are watching, I can't remember what the show is called, that Big Ben or something, the horse that talks.
Okay.
And they're talking about how they get the horse to talk. And the one guy's saying, they put peanut butter in the back of his mouth to make his lips move, and then that looks like the horse is talking. And it's funny because they're two apparently, mentally unstable people talking completely rationally about the situation, and so I sort of talk about that in the chorus, and then in the end I say, I guess they don't make them like they used to, because that's sort of me saying I'm one of them, kind of thing. I think we're.
Cool. There was another song I heard this morning, and you had the line, "Oh lady, find me, I'm lost without your love," and it kind of makes me think of kind of a romantic thing, but you never know what people are going through, so would you mind elaborating on that line for a second?
Yeah, that song is not romantic at all.
Okay.
It's a song called "What Gets Worse Before It Gets Better," and it's called that because it's a song about the inevitable horrors of growing up and dealing with everyday situations as an adult. The loss of innocence, the things that are beyond your control that you have to process, deal with, get over, get through, that kind of thing. So the song is called that because you kind of keep wondering to yourself a lot of days, how much worse can this get? And when is it going to get better? And the line, "Oh lady, find me, I'm lost without your love," is kind of crying out to this lady that's a metaphor for like a childhood guardian or guidance or something. How do you get back to a simpler time?
A little bit of longing.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, this is getting inside the mind of Gavin right now, and that's pretty cool. I hope you guys are tuned in and ready for another song, because this is Black Dogs coming at you from Alive and Swell.
Every time that it gets a little harder to dig up the answers, well, I dig a little farther. Got something to say, I've got a signed, unsealed letter. Well, I'm feeling okay now, I'd like to feel a whole lot better. Tongue in my cheek and your foot in my mouth. Gonna get down to business, gonna work this thing out. There are a good many things I've been looking for, Kurt, but the winter's coming on, so I've put my head down to work. I'm chasing a feeling, you'd better believe I'll let you know just what that is when I get some relief. What's mine ain't really mine, they let me know before the fall. With a calculated risk, wasn't very risky at all. Their words sound like the preachers, they're far too familiar. Now the tassel's filled with iron and it's pounding in my ears. But time heals wounds and it dampens remorse. So one day I won't regret tripping my way through all them doors. They've done it before when they made famous a horse, sticking globs of peanut butter in the corners of his mouth. To have us all believe he could speak out loud, well, I guess they just don't make them like they used to. Used to believe in salvation when salvation lay in you. Well, my prayers these days sound more like please, does that make them untrue? Well, yeah, we got together for the thrill of it all. Now we spend the evenings indoors and keep the weekends to keep off calls. Says tears are unrelated, but I know the real reason. No matter when we toil, well, it's never the right season.
Gavin, where could we see your information? And of course, we're going to provide that too, but give us a couple links in Ottawa.
Well, online, we're on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. The easiest place to go to is the website, which is blackdogs.ca. And if you want to pick up a record, please do. We have them at the Record Center on Wellington Street, and we also have them at Gabba Hay Shop in City Center. Or you can find them anytime I play a show.
So check out Gavin next Saturday, the 19th, at City Folk Marvis Musical Harvest. He's going to be performing 2 shows, and support him and buy his music and show some love. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. This is Alive and Swell in Ottawa, Canada, And if you have any recommendations or somebody you want to see from Ottawa coming to the studio, send us an email. We'll provide that down below. And we're going to keep on going and have a good night. Tonight's Saturday. What are you doing tonight?
Drinking.
All right, so it's going to be a party. Peace.